Welcome to the special edition of the Lost Tapes of Season 2 of Football Warriors TV. I have found the outlines in the notebook that was missing for quite some time. The season did not happen, as we know, outside of Phantom's front office. That one did happen. It wasn't because I lost the book, which I did lose the book. But things happen. And that is a missing link between Season 1 and Season 3. And I thought it would be interesting to go over some of the missing questions that I have found. First up was the aforementioned Phantom's Front Office episode. I did all these questions. Number 6 is blank. You can't see it here. I wonder what I was going to write there. Who knows? That was a fun episode. Really good way to start the season that never happened. If you recall, I visited the Phantom's front office, James's house. And it was fun. But just for fun, most overrated football player, basketball player, soda, and cereal. I'm going to let you redo those, James, if you want to, as I know you're probably one of the only few that will watch this. So if you want to answer the most overrated of those 4 categories, that would be fine. The interviews are spread out in the book. Of course, I didn't have them together, of course. And these were going to happen that off season. But as you remember, we just never found the time. And I didn't even write all the interviews that I wanted to write. But of the ones I queued up, I will read them for you. Not all of them, but most of them. Some of the questions don't even matter. It's funny looking back. The first one, just the first one I found here, is from Andrea's follow-up episode. And that was going to be an interesting experience. The first question says, how much do you hate me? So obviously this is after Super Bowl IV, which we all remember what happened there. Commissioner Romocop won the Super Bowl in dramatic fashion. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So that would have been a fun answer there. And then I go on to ask, how was your first season and your outlook on the next season? Which obviously is pointless here because that season has already passed. I said, what was the coolest unexpected thing about being in the league your first year? Which obviously was going to the Super Bowl. And the follow-up question is, what is it going to take to get back to the Super Bowl? Apparently the answer is voodoo, but that's a different interview in itself. Man, I wrote some of these fast. It's kind of hard to read. Right here, I thank you for being a new member and being active and participating in the league, validating my selection of you and Mr. Jones. That's what this section would have been. Then I go into congrats on Baby Cannon, which we don't even know his name at this point, according to my notes. And the question is, food cravings, are you having any and what are they? Then the next question is one I was really looking forward to asking in a video. It's clearly too late now. How much are you going to cuss Bo out when you deliver the baby? That would have been fun. And then, are you looking forward to the league meeting? That's pretty basic. What would be your dream car? That's interesting. Some of these I use on this. It was going to be a theme. So it's going to appear in everybody's questions. the ones that I actually sat down and actually wrote. Now I ask about the Deflated Ball Boys, the pop group that Bo Cannon was in. If you didn't know about that, and if they're still living off the tour money from the North American tour, that probably would have been a whole thing. Good times. Ned says, last episode we found out that you are a teacher in early childhood education. What would you do if you had to teach high school? Or what would be a dream job for you? I would probably clean that up a little bit. First part of it's kind of funny. I think the second part, as I was going into the dream car, there's going to be a lot of dream stuff. If I remember right, those were closer to the themes that I was going to be doing. So I guess dream job is the point there. If you weren't an early childhood education teacher. The next one is the last movie you saw in a theater and at home. Your favorite song currently and your favorite comedian. That ends Andrea's episode outline. And I probably would have did most of those. It would have been real funny. We missed out on some of that, but it's cool. But we'll move on to the next one. The next one, of course, just going off of the list, is Bo's follow-up episode. Not surprising that I would have written them back to back like that, but this one's pretty funny, kinda. Hi, welcome back to Super Bowl III champ. How ironic is that? Since Super Bowl VI champ as well. And then I talk about Super Bowl II, III, and IV. Romocop, Bo Romocop as a sandwich. Which is really funny because Super Bowl VI, like I said. Maybe we'll make another sandwich there. But I said, how does your keeper situation look? Tom Brady. I don't know. I don't remember where it was that off season. I apologized for winning Super Bowl IV for no reason whatsoever. As you shouldn't be sorry about winning the Super Bowl. But that would have been funny. I asked, are the troubles in New England real? What kind of question is that? Obviously, that did not transpire the way, the rumors were out there about there being a rift between Brady and Belichick. That didn't happen. Next one is pain of the New England Super Bowl loss. I'm kind of glad we didn't do that one. Well, obviously, Bo's a Patriots fan, and that sucked. What I was getting at with that for him, it was bad. Anytime your team loses in the Super Bowl. For me, it was bad because the Eagles won. That's clearly where I was going with that, and how I can relate to that, even though I'm not a Patriots or Eagles fan. It still sucked to see them win a Super Bowl. I hope they never would have won one ever. Next is, will Brady play until 50? Of course, probably 60. Who knows? It's never going away. That would have been funny. Congrats on baby Cannon. And then, how much is she going to cuss you out? That would have been very, very funny to have both of those responses in subsequent videos. I would have well timed that one. It would have been good. And then Dream Car, last movie you saw at home in a theater, Dream Job, and your favorite song right now. I think those were the ones I was pretty much giving everybody. But let's move on. We got a couple more left. Alright, next up is a follow-up episode. They're all follow-up episodes, season 2, for Mr. Jones. So welcome. How was year one? Yeah, a little, a little behind on that question. I said your slow start prediction was accurate, and you made a run late. So your prediction there was accurate. How do you see next year going? Let's see. A bunch of scratch, and then it says, has this experience been more than you expected? How are you enjoying it thus far? And I said your 8-5 record prediction in the last video was a miss. What do you think your record will be this year? Uh, that's pretty basic there. How did you enjoy your time in the pit of misery? Uh, yeah, who would enjoy that, right? And then, what are you looking forward to at the league meeting? What was the last movie you saw at home and or the theater? Dream job, dream car. And then, of course, favorite song right now. Yeah, so everybody got these pod questions. The next question, though, is different. Not favorite, as I marked that out. Okay, talk about a wrestling memory. As far as one that made an impact on you. I don't really know where I was going there. I left myself a lot of room to come up with something there for wrestling, basically free time to talk about wrestling. So that would have been fun. Do you have any rivalries forming? And what has to happen to not start out 0-4? We saw that this past year, which is a good thing for Mr. Jones. And that's all I got on that one. At least that's all I did at the point that I wrote these. So some of these are missing, like it'll say question 9, it'll be blank, or question 10, and there won't be anything there. So obviously we never got to these episodes, and I didn't get to do them. But moving on to the next one, it's one that would have been pretty interesting. All right, this is the introductory episode for Kevin. Kevin's, you can't see it. Kevin's introduction to the league, which I don't know will ever happen. I probably shouldn't do this one, but it's so old. I gotta clear this notebook out. I gotta move on from this lost season. It says, welcome to the league and the show, Kevin. How do you feel about this? What's your first year outlook? Basic softball questions there. How many titles have you won? How many years have you played? Pretty much what I give most new people, which I'm glad we haven't had one in a while. Hopefully a while or never again. It says, you are a Bears fan. Will the Bears win another Super Bowl? And if I still get to do an interview, I will ask that. Who wins the Super Bowl first? The Cowboys or the Bears? I don't know. It's tough. Maybe if they combine teams, some kind of Cow-Bear fusion team. I'm not too sure where I was going with this one. How did rain-soaked Super Bowl against Peyton Manning feel? I don't know why it matters. I mean, it might have had something that went with it. I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe it's worse because it was raining. I don't know. It just made it down. And then I think it's supposed to go into Rex Grossman. That would have been funny. I said, Glad you are a Bears fan. Didn't want any more Cowboys oversaturation, which is true. So that's pretty cut and dry there. You are a wrestling fan. Who is your favorite wrestler? Favorite wrestling memory? Similar to the last episode. Uh, Last movie you saw at home in a theater. Dream job. Dream car. I cover them all. And then I had rapid fire for Kevin because he had not experienced that. And it's a rapid fire favorites, favorite movie, favorite band, favorite cereal, favorite pizza, favorite hobby, favorite car, favorite football player, NCAA team, basketball team, all time basketball player, and video game. Just basically anything that I could come up with that I wrote down beforehand. And that would have been the Kevin introductory episode, give or take. Probably with some better stuff mixed in. But there's that. So that's it for season 2. The lost tapes that never got filmed. I hope you enjoyed that. Pretty basic stuff. Some funny stuff. Would have made some good episodes. But it is what it is. I do understand. Season 3 was fantastic. We're looking forward to season 4. And we'll just keep on moving. I almost said it. Not gonna get me. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. Hope everybody's doing well. Peace.